What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the brand new Shredlight's SL-1000 electric skateboard and longboard lights. These lights are absolutely insane. They're so bright, and today we're going to be talking about these lights and all the specs that they boast, as well as comparing them to the previous model, which was the SL-200, and whether or not it's worth upgrading them now today. So this is what comes in the single pack. You've got a standard action mount, which you can mount to a helmet, and then a narrow diffuser outside the box. Then there's the actual Shredlight's single pack box, which has the Shredlight inside of it. So the entire box pretty much is the Shredlight, and it comes packaged right on the top. Here it is. It is a massive light. It's even got a warning tag that says that this thing can cause temporary blindness, so that just goes to show how bright these things are. There's also a USB-C charger, which is a great addition and upgrade, another medium diffuser, and then just the standard stickers and instruction manuals with every product. So this is what the actual SL-1000 looks like, and as you can tell in relation to my hand right here, this thing is absolutely massive. The first thing that I noticed when I picked up the light was how dense and heavy it felt, as well as just the sheer size compared to the old lights. The SL-1000s are skinny at the rear, but they're super wide up at the front. As you can see right here, there's also the addition of a third button on the SL-1000 on the top, as well as those two side buttons. On the bottom, we still have the same old S-Lock mount, which is great because it's compatible with all of the previous Shredlight mounts. As I mentioned before, the Shredlight SL-1000 is also made from an aluminum casing, which means that it's going to be a lot more robust than their previous rubberized versions on the SL-200s. I really like this feature, and although it makes them a little bit heavier, it's also going to act as a heat sink because they're going to dissipate a lot of heat with those bright settings. There's a rubber gasket on the top which serves as a seal to the charger port, which is a USB-C. I really like the addition of the USB-C as opposed to the old micro USB. It's just a minor upgrade, but all the more it makes a difference. The addition of a third button into the user interface of the SL-1000 is also one of the more noticeable features, and I found that the user interface change of how the light turns on and switches modes is a little bit confusing at first. However, after some time I was able to nail it down. I really do like the addition of a power indicator in the form of the color that the center light glows when you tap any button. Alright, now we're going to take these lights out for a spin in the middle of the night so we can see how they perform and then compare them to the SL-200s. So here's what it looks like in the pitch black. Here's what the SL-1000 looks like on each of its 4 brightness settings, starting with the lowest and going up. As you can see from this view right here, even though there's that slight street lamp in the background illuminating the street, it's still pretty dark, and the SL-1000 just makes it super bright in that area. On the left right here and right now, you can see the SL-200 in comparison. The SL-1000 is just infinitesimally brighter than the SL-200. The SL-200, when compared to the SL-1000, looks like there's almost no light when you compare them side by side. The SL-200 was great for seeing very short distances ahead of you, but as you can see right here, the SL-1000 lights up so much that you can see way far ahead. The house that we're shining on is at least 30 feet away. Here's a quick little experiment. We have the complete darkness right here. This is what it looks like with the SL-200, and then this is what it looks like with the SL-1000. And as you can see, when we put these two side by side, the SL-1000 is so much brighter than the SL-200. Additionally, this is what it looks like from a GoPro's perspective when riding with the SL-200s at night. We have one single SL-200 on right here, and then this is what it looks like when riding with a single SL-1000 at night. In a side-by-side comparison, there's no questions at all that the SL-1000 makes a massive impact and is just incredibly bright. Finally, here's just another side-by-side to further emphasize the difference between the two lights and why it's worth getting the upgrade. Getting right back into the function, there are 4 different blinking settings on the SL-1000. This is the first one right here. If you click the button once, you can transition into the fast beeping mode. Click it again and you'll get into the slower beeping mode, and then one more time and you'll end up in this pulsating light mode. I personally almost always ride with the lights just on in their brightest setting because I want to be able to see the road in front of me. However, the blinking light setting is great if you're looking for visibility from other traffic wanting to see you rather than the actual visibility for you onto the road. It also saves a ton of energy as the solid modes consume a lot, while the blinking ones will actually get you a lot more lifespan on the battery. Moving back inside onto the table, one of the things that I didn't discuss was the fact that the SL-1000s actually have a swappable lens. And what this means is that you can unscrew the cap of the shred lights, which actually will reveal the inside of the light, and you can insert the various diffusers that are included with your single pack into this section to change the angle of beam that you want the light to come out at. So there's a narrow diffuser and a medium diffuser, and they just come as these gray kind of opaque plastic round discs, and essentially all you do is take them, put them inside the lens cap that screws on, and then screw that cap back onto your shred lights, and effectively what you've done is you've changed the angle that the light comes out of the shred light, which means that you can get the light to spread out wider but go less far, just so you have more visibility right in front of you. Moving back outside, this is the shred light on the stock setting that is no diffuser in it on the brightest mode. And as you can see, the beam goes very far but is narrow. Once you put the narrow diffuser on, shown right here, the light beam does not go that far, however it's a little bit wider. And then finally, once you add that wide or medium diffuser, the angle that the light comes out is basically 180. It doesn't go very far, but you have a wide view of light. Although I personally don't use the diffusers, I just leave it in the stock setting. I think that it's super cool that shred lights have found a way for each individual to dial in exactly how they want their light to look, whether that be nice and narrow and far, or very short and wide, just depending on what situation you're riding in. Alright, so now moving into the actual quality and performance of the SL-1000 lights, and all I have to say for this is that the SL-1000s are so insanely good. They're so bright, they're so high quality, that new aluminum casing just makes them extra durable. The old rubberized versions did have some issues long term. They started to fall apart, those little ring gaskets would start to fall off, but this metal casing just feels super premium, high quality, and acts as an entire heatsink for that light when it gets hot in the brightest setting. In terms of the brightness, the SL-1000 is just incredibly light and gives us a new sense of confidence that we didn't have with the SL-200s. The SL-200s were great. They allowed you to see right in front of you and you could ride in the night, but you still had to be a little bit more cautious. However, with the SL-1000s, we feel that we can pretty much ride as if it were during the day. We are riding our DIY boards around 25 to 30 miles an hour at nighttime now, thanks to the SL-1000, because you can see so far ahead that you can make any corrections or adjustments that you might need to make if there were a twig or a rock or something in the middle of the road that you needed to avoid, which is absolutely incredible. The lights are just so bright that they look like an actual vehicle is coming onto traffic, and from a distance this is super good because it means that any oncoming vehicles when you're riding at night will be able to see you clearly, so that you stay safe when riding. Another massive upgrade to the SL-1000 lights is the fact that they've used a full 18650 cell as their battery for the light. They're using a Samsung cell, which is a very high quality cell, and it's 3500 milliamp hours, which is pretty high for a light this size. This means that the battery life on the SL-1000 is incredible. If you're running it at 50 lumens, you can get up to 50 hours of battery life, but if you go into the higher luminosities, such as the 1000 lumen setting, you're only going to get around 1.5 hours of battery life, which is still really good and more than enough for a single ride, especially at night. I also really love the fact that shred lights have opted to use the same S-Lock as their mounting system for the SL-1000s. This means that all of the previous shred lights mounts are compatible with the SL-1000, which is great because that means I don't need a whole new system of mounts specifically for this light, and I can still use it on all of my boards that already have those mounts installed. Shred lights also additionally supposedly made an upgrade to this existing S-Lock on the SL-1000 to make it slightly more durable. Another really fantastic thing about the SL-1000 is its waterproofness. I don't know the exact technical terms, but they are waterproof 1 meter deep for up to 30 minutes, which is pretty incredible. So you're going to have no issues riding through water at all if it's able to sustain that waterproofness at that depth for that long, especially when on electric skateboards we're just dealing with puddle splashes rather than actual submission underwater. So to conclude this review about the Shred Lights SL-1000, all I can say is that these lights are incredible. I cannot say enough good things about them, and I 10 out of 10 recommend them to anyone looking to get a good lighting system for your electric skateboard. Even as riders coming from SL-200s, I'd still say that it's worth the money to get that upgrade, especially if you're riding a lot at night. The SL-1000s are a massive upgrade from the SL-200s. This isn't to say that you should completely ditch your SL-200s, you can definitely use them in conjunction with one another, but even just having one SL-1000 makes a massive difference when riding at night. So if you guys are interested in picking up your very own set of the new Shredlights SL-1000s, we'll have a link down in the description below so that you guys can not only get a discount, but also help us out a little bit so that we can continue making videos like this. Also, make sure to comment down below what you guys think of the Shredlights SL-1000s so that us as a community can have a discussion about this incredible new product. If you've made it this far, also consider liking our video and subscribing to our YouTube channel for awesome electric skateboard content, DIY electric skateboard content, and e-skate part reviews. We've got a ton of really exciting videos coming up in the future, so make sure that you guys are subscribed so you don't miss that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.